Hey, that only took like 2 minutes. I think that's the quickest we've gotten up and running.
Hey, buddy.
Going on?
What's up?
What's up?
All right, guys. I'm
Yes.
probably gonna leave my camera off for a few, and I gotta drive home, so I'm gonna listen.
Yes, please keep your camera off.
Oh
Here you
yeah,
go,
for
Josh.
sure.
That's playing in the background.
I'd rather be watching the Blues game.
Well, I mean, at least it's not the game that they're playing. It's just a podcast in YouTube form.
Yeah.
Kind of similar to
It's
what
not
we're
that
doing.
game.
Brian.
Headphones.
Speaking of which, I'm going to turn it on in the background.
What have I told you
better.
about shaving that beard off, sir?
Oh, bro, I'm telling you, every time I do it, I bowl like complete garbage. I swear to God. Yeah, it's like who is it that they cut the hair off and they lose their
No,
power?
Samson.
Yeah. Ironically, I have a dog named Samson. Dude, I have, yeah.
Hey, hey.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel it. 100%. 100. I did not.
Should we go, or should we
very
go
well.
Scarlet Letter? Ting ting shame, to ting shame, to ting shame.
More like, come out with your dad. Come out with your dad. I'm not dead yet. Oh, you'll be dead soon enough.
All right, so tonight's going to be fun. Tonight we
Jason.
have Big Josh Bowling, fellow Missourian. If I really wanted to do this like live where both of us were here, we could have.
Yeah, we could have.
So
Oh, you guys are that close?
About
Yeah.
30 minutes.
Nice.
what makes Big Josh unique, kind of like me, he took a very long sabbatical from the game.
Yeah.
Very, very long.
It's actually longer than mine, and I thought I took a long step away.
Right. Yeah.
I was out for 12 years before coming back. You were what, 14?
17.
17. Yeah.
And I knew it was a teenager.
Yeah. Too long.
So, what were you doing before you took your break, and what got you to come back?
See, before, I bowled in like 3-4 nights a week. I was almost going to go, I had everything I needed to go pro, which I was going to go pro about around 2006. But then decided to have a family instead. And just figured it wasn't worth being out on the road for however long it was at the time.
And especially during that time, man, the money just was not there. Like
Yeah.
you had to win multiple tournaments to make money.
Yeah, so it wasn't worth it back then. Then went through 2 ex-wives. My wife now, back in 2020, at the beginning of 2023, wanted me to get back into bowling because that's all I talked about then. She's like, I'll even buy a bowling ball, so you can get back into it. Because the bowling ball that I had at the time, I got back in 2008. So it was pretty old. It was an old Track Kinetic Energy.
Mm-hmm.
And still have that. So here we are 2 years later and 13 more bowling balls.
See.
Soon to be 14 when I do the Have a Ball Summer League.
See.
Oh, you're gonna do the 9-pin summer league?
Well, yeah. Being the wife are.
Oh,
That,
see my
definitely
buddy Jeff.
send that clip to me.
We
Jeff
did the
Kuchar
Have a Ball
wants me
League
to
last year.
wants me to
too.
do that too, but it's on Monday nights. I'm like, dude, that's podcast night. That's a no go.
Nah. I got to go defend my average there.
Do what you got to do.
My average
Yeah, I was gonna
last
say,
year,
that's-
my
And
average
that's the
in
other
the
thing. is, especially in our area, you get called a house bowler awful lot. What is your average at the house you bowl at?
Currently 236. My 9-pin average 273.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of 9-pins here in Florida. At least not here in East Florida. Yeah, I mean, you'll get like a 9-pin tournament here and there, but there's no leagues that do 9-pin, or at least not that I'm aware of.
With me coming back for the first time after 17 years last fall season, it's like I never stopped bowling because my first year back I averaged 231.
It's kind of like riding a bike, man.
Yeah. Well, it's funny too. Back in my 20s when I bowled a lot, I was only averaging like 220s, and now I come back in my 40s and bowling better in my 40s than I did in my 20s.
It's crazy what muscle
I was
memory.
going to say our timelines are very similar. I left in 2005, 2006 because was doing the same thing, getting ready to go out on regional tour because I never had any aspirations to go national. I was like, my arm can't take that many games. Even in my 20s, I was like, yeah, no, I don't want that kind of grind.
Yeah.
But I was like, I could be a decent regional tour bowler, a couple of regional titles, and I'll be happy. And then the ex-wife says, surprise, we're pregnant, you're done bowling.
Well.
And I averaged probably 190, 195 when I left. Came back the first year because Kaylin, we sat down and had a life conversation. We're like, all right, what is one life goal that you've always had that you think is still achievable? I said, I can get my PBA card. I know I can. So she says, go grab a ball. She's like, grab new equipment.
Yeah.
Sign up for a league. Go get your card. And the very first year, I averaged 201 in the COVID shortened year, and got my PBA card the first year back after 12 years.
Nice.
That's awesome.
And what's crazy too about my first year back after 17 years and everything? Within the first couple of months, I got a shot at 299. Damn 10-pin robbed me of a 300.
I actually just saw a T-shirt that I'm getting ready to put on my shop. It says the 299 Club, the damn 10-pin.
Then I'd say March of 24, I finally got a 300. And then a month later, I got my 800 on the last night of league season. And then to start off this new year, fall season, second week of the season, I shot a 300. Still looking for that 800 though this year.
So you want one every year, not one like
I do have
Everdom.
I do have a non-sanctioned 300 in the New Year's Day tournament that Oasis does every January 1st.
Yeah.
I did shoot a natural 300 in the 9-pin tournament that day.
Interesting fact is Oasis used to sanction their 9-pin tournaments just in case somebody shot a natural 3.
Yeah, they didn't do it because there was a kid bowling. Or else they would have. So that one kid ruined it.
Was it Carter?
No, he didn't bowl. Nope. But the last Sunday I was up at Oasis because my wife pre-bowled for her Thursday night league, and Carter and Sheila came up there, and Carter brought up the power torque. He got it, gave him, and he was trying to throw the power torque.
Daddy's trying to talk to his friends.
And he was having a heck of a time trying to figure that power torque out.
Yeah, I mean the setup I gave him, I think he'll really like it. I gave him a power torque.
Mm-hmm.
I gave him. God, what was the other solid ball I gave him? I gave him power torque something. No, he already had the DV8. It was the power torque something else and the Brunswick Attitude.
No. He couldn't figure that power torque out because it wasn't hooking. He's like, man, this ball sucks. I'm gonna get it plugged and re-drilled or whatever. But I told him to move over. I told him to move to this board. Throw your same line. The lanes are so screwed up from the cosmic bowling and everything the night before. So
Oh yeah.
the oil's gonna be pushed all over. You're just gonna have to
Yeah.
throw the same spot and burn you a line in. And that's what he did, and the ball started hooking just fine for him.
Well, and that's the thing. We went cosmic bowling last week, 2 weeks ago, somewhere like that, something like that. And you're right. The first game and a half, that ball moved maybe that much.
Yeah. That's why I don't like going up there and practice, because they don't hardly ever oil their lanes.
But somebody still averaged to 220 because
No.
we figured out the ball didn't hook. Went
No.
way right and just
But
thumb to the pocket and throw it as hard as you can.
and they did just buy a new oil machine not too long ago, finally.
Undertaker's asking if any of you guys are familiar with Brunswick A machines or A2s.
A2s are better. They break down less and they're less offset.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong, Brunswick A's are nice, but they will set pins offset. You will see a pocket that is like yay wide. You can almost fit a bowling ball through it.
Right.
Or
I'm
you'll
looking
see
forward to
an 8 or a 9 pin that's almost behind the 5 pin.
Yes.
I've seen that too.
I'm looking forward to next fall season.
Yeah, we're going to be at the same house.
Same house, different teams though.
I'll have to bowl against my buddy. That's going to
A little
sit.
competition.
Yep. I'm bowling on a team with one of my buddies that lives in the same town you do.
Oh, you got another Warrington guy. You're cheating on me. Okay, who is it?
Yep.
Cheating.
But I've had it with Oasis though. They're kind of running. They're running a lot of people out to go bowl.
Well, I mean, if I was averaging 232, I'd have it with it too, because they obviously just can't throw out a good shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
I need to get that house bowler label off me. That's why I want to go bowl in other places too.
Dude, I will tell you, Cave is really nice, especially seeing that they've redone everything. And if you bite me, I swear to God.
Are you doing
Sorry.
I know.
But the approaches are slick, dude. I had to put an S4 on my bowling shoes when I went up there and practiced.
I bowled a 5-man 9-pin tournament there not too long ago.
Okay.
And I really liked the lanes.
The lanes were good, but I was not expecting the approaches to be that slick. I'm like, oh dear Lord,
Yeah.
because I had a 9 on the first time I slid, and I almost slid to the pin deck.
Mm-hmm. I do like how forgiving the back curtain is, though.
Yeah, you'd be picking some splits with some pins getting thrown
Yeah.
off the curtain.
I left the Greek church and I had the 8-pin bounce off the back wall, hit the 10-pin, and the 10-pin fell and hit the 6. So
I've not ever come across the forgiving curtain like that in my life.
Well, the ideal house to be able to pick splits, you need one of two things, or if you have both, then there's no split you can't pick. You need responsive kickboards,
Yeah,
sidewalls,
right.
or a responsive curtain. If you have both, don't ever leave that house because pins will fly.
Right. Yeah. My league house, it's dead, and dead.
Frontier was the same way. I don't think they replaced their sidewalls or their curtains the entire time they were open.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
I've never
can
bowled there.
go 25 miles an hour plus and still not get sidewall action. The ruler just dies and dumps it in the back of the bed.
And
Yeah,
St.
I was gonna
Charles
say-
lanes are pretty good about that, too, in the back wall.
Yeah. But no, that's another Josh user 86 whatever that is. That's another St. Louis bowler. He's in Wright City.
Nice.
But the other big thing that I wanted to ask you specifically was the difference in technology from the time you left to the time you got back.
Yeah, I wanted to ask the same thing.
Oh God, well, it's obviously a hell of a lot better since I'm bowling better now than I did 20-some years ago.
Did you do?
I'm loving it.
Did you do a lot of like research on like the new technology with cover stops and the balls and everything else? Because I mean, there's a lot of shit that's changed. In this.
I'll tell you, back before I quit, I always bowled with track because I just love them, and that's who I've got my honor scores with track balls. 17 years later, come back. That's all I bowl with now is track.
Back to track.
And I got the brand. I got my two newest ones. I got the Criterion Solid. Then my wife bought me the Criterion Hybrid for my birthday, and I haven't been able to throw the Criterion Hybrid yet because I'm laid up.
Somebody's still slinged up.
2 more weeks, I'll be able to bowl.
Take it easy. Don't rush it.
I'll be at my 6-week mark, so I'm to the point now where I was told I can start weaning off my sling. So the only time I really got to wear it is when I'm out in public. But I go back to the doctor on the 22nd, and I should get out of the sling full time then.
That's good.
Yeah, when I had my labrum surgery, the sling lasted a whopping 3 days.
No, blame me. When I'm here at the house, I'm not usually wearing it, but it's a little sore today, so that's why I got it on. But
and you know the whole the pulley thing where you're supposed to like pull on the string and it lift your arm up to get the range of motion stuff back.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to doing that, I was sitting here with this hand on this arm and I was doing resistant pulls like 4 days after surgery.
No. I got therapy tomorrow, so I'll be doing that exact exercise too.
Yep, my father-in-law is doing that right now, actually.
But I go for my like 2 week my 2 week follow up. She's like, "Are you doing this?" I said, "Oh yeah," and I showed her what I was doing. She's like, "Oh God, stop! You were going to hurt yourself." She's like, "You're the type of person that I cannot stand."
No.
I said, "What, a fast healer?" She goes, "Exactly."
No.
Hey, John Parr.
But 7 years ago, when I had the same surgery on my left shoulder, I only had to be in a sling for 2 weeks. And I was back to work in 6 weeks or so. This time around, they're wanting me to keep my damn arm in the sling for 6 weeks. I'm like, what the hell?
Good God.
Yeah. So.
Thank you, John. Thank you for the heart me. I appreciate it. And I may or may not have hit a home run in slow pitch softball 2 weeks after the surgery.
When I said
But
no.
another reason why I'm aching to get back to bowling right now is because with me being out, my team has dropped down to 11th place.
Ooh.
Yeah. And there's only
Out of how many?
There's only 6 weeks left of the season.
How many teams?
Squirt.
22.
2? Oh, yeah.
Oof.
That 500 mark, yeah.
When I went out of my surgery, we were in 5th place.
Get out of here.
Now we're in 11th.
Squirt.
But yeah, I mean, I was my sports therapist's like worst nightmare. And then, but by the time I go to actually have her send me to physical therapy, she's like, "You've already been doing the things they're going to have you do in physical therapy for the last month. Don't even bother going."
And I got this week of therapy and then next week, and that's it.
Dang, Undertaker, that's pretty quick. Broken leg in December and still managed to get back in Summer League. Summer Leagues usually start in the first, second week of May? That's a fast turnaround.
Very fast.
Yeah, our summer league, I think we're like 5 or 6 weeks out from our summer league right now.
I was to say the one and only summer league I'm bowling this year is the Mulligan League at Plaza, and that starts on May 14th.
I thought
Josh,
about
you'd
going
love
over
that
there to
league.
bowl summer league, but the wife wants to bowl with me again this summer, so that's what I'm doing.
I would say you'd
Right.
love that summer league because it's a 4-game set, and you drop your lowest set for your lowest game for a 3-game set. And you
What I would really
pair to
want to
pair.
do is the sports shot league where it's 7 weeks long pattern and 7 weeks short pattern. That's the kind of stuff I need to start practicing on.
sport pattern leagues are fun. I love sport pattern because that's where the rubber meets the road.
Because I think that's the one where you get a $500 gift card to the pro shop too after the league's over.
This is a good question by Bree. She says, "What's your thoughts on string pins? I read it will cause higher scores."
Never bowled
It
on 'em.
actually will not. It will not cause higher scores. You'll sling less messengers, and
Correct.
you actually have to be a little bit more accurate. Now, this is on PBA. This is on USBC certified string pins. Wrecked string pins will fly everywhere.
Right. Well, because they can adjust tensions.
Right. But if you're on USBC certified, like the edge string pins, you actually
Yeah,
have to be
you're-
more accurate because you're not going to get the light carries and you're not going to get messengers.
Right.
I don't really have any intentions on bowling on the string pins.
I mean, you're not going to have much of a choice for too much longer. It's inevitable, unfortunately. And I don't like to say it. I don't like bowling on them at all. I've only
Mm.
bowled on them one time so far. Was not a fan. But I think it's just like anything else. As soon as you throw at something for a period of time, you figure it out a little bit.
Well, I know
Learning curve.
I know the bowling alley here at Oasis. I know they could probably use them because the mechanics they have suck and don't know how to fix the lanes properly. They're always breaking down.
But that's part of the problem. That's why they're going to string is because they can't get the mechanics that will do the work.
Yeah.
It's a dying trade, unfortunately.
No.
But I would never bowl on the wreck string pins because that will inflate your scores because the strings are loose, they grab, they knock over pins
they'll
they shouldn't.
sweep. Yeah, they'll sweep.
But the certified pins, that is the certified strings, are completely different.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
completely different game.
Yeah, it's tense.
And if they're good enough for EJ Tackett to put in his house for certified strings, it's got to be good enough for everywhere else.
I mean, if Tackett's doing it, I mean, who's gonna argue with that? If Tackett can pull it off, I mean, you really can't argue that.
No.
And on string pins, Tackett left a 3.9, and with his rev rate, 3.9 would have carried on free fall pins because of his rev rate.
I did see it was like a strikes challenge post today with Tackett doing all strikes on string pins. It was 3 lanes instead of 2 because obviously string pins take a little longer. But I think he only put 9 together in his time frame, which is a lot less than what natural pin set would be. I mean, usually he'd crush out 15 easy.
Oh, yeah. And Brian, you're talking about on the strike derby. During the two-handed versus one-handed, it may not have been Tackett, but I do know a 3.9 was left on a very high rev rate guy. I could have swore it was Tackett. I may be wrong because God knows it's happened before. But I did see a 3.9 split where it was like, yeah, that probably would have carried with free fall.
Right, yeah.
But the strike derby was a lot less of a strike derby because they were leaving a whole bunch of single pins.
Yeah.
Again, you're talking about the strike derby, Brian.
I know.
There was 2 different events on the string pins. There was a team event, and
Yeah.
there was the strike derby.
Yeah. Where's Cobra driving from?
Well, apparently he's not driving
There he
anymore.
is.
From Eastgate.
And like I said,
There he
it
is.
may not have been Tackett that actually left the splits, but there were plenty of splits left, especially in the one-handed versus two-handed team event.
Yeah.
What's up, Britt?
Britton house, Britton's house. Hey, Britt. Clap if you
What
love
up,
double.
Britt? Oh, we lost Cobra.
Uh-oh.
And poof, he's gone.
You see more of me now, unfortunately.
Oh, great.
Got a face made for radio, baby.
This is my problem in the bedroom I have right now.
In Baton Rouge,
Yeah,
the singles and doubles I heard is lighter oil, so the lighter, weaker balls should be better. And then the team shot is a heavier oiled shot. That's all the details I know.
Yeah, I got a couple of buddies that just got back from there not too long ago.
No.
Bowling.
Definitely not sponsored, but cooler than hell.
One of my buddies that just went down there to bowl, and he lives up in Colorado. Got home, opened his ball bag up, and one of his balls was cracked all the way around.
Ooh.
Brand new Trek Stealth mode.
Well, at least it's warranted unless the glue caused it.
No, he got a new one.
Did he fly with it?
I'm not sure. But of all the balls that were taken down there, that was the only one that did it.
There we go. We got him
Cobra's
back.
back. Guess who's back? Back again.
Hey, I've only had one ball crack in my lifetime, and that was actually my anniversary ball, which is a original black onyx vibe that got resurfaced so much that the serial number actually got worn off on it.
Damn.
And I wanted to throw it at a PBA event, so they're like, "Hey, you need to put some sort of serial number on this." So I inscribed my wedding date on it, so it became the wedding ball.
I mean, if it works.
And unfortunately, that is the only ball that I've ever had crack in my entire life, and it is still sitting downstairs,
They got
waiting to be displayed. But we'll figure that out at a later date.
I got a cracked
Why
ball
did you
sitting
tell
in
me
my
that?
garage,
What?
but I haven't thrown
You're
away
waiting
yet.
for it to be displayed.
Because I was going to take care of it in my own due time.
You know damn good and well you weren't doing a goddamn thing
That's
with that
what-
thing.
That's
Because you
why I
don't
throw
do jack
motors.
shit around here when it comes to that. That's a me thing that you have to tell me. Hey, honey. Oh,
Remember
you aggravate me.
the early 2000s?
Well,
when
if you don't
Trek
stop
came out
blinking,
with
I'm
that
gonna
freak
stab
line?
you.
No, that was the old joke from the hoodie bowler. He's like, "Steve, blink twice if you need help."
I think
You
you
don't need
blink
no
3
motherfucking
times.
help.
You need serious
Y'all
help.
can't help him no way.
Going to May,
this is
bring in
why.
the Equinox, the Ion Max, and the Attention Star and the DNA coil, Ruby in a phase 2. Okay, so you're going to wind up throwing the phase 2 and the Ion Max in teams. You're probably going to rely more on the Attention Star, the coil, and the Ruby during singles and doubles. And I would work your way down to the Ruby. So as you would need to move left, that's when you get into your weaker stuff like the Attention Star and the Ruby. I would start relatively straight with the DNA coil.
I love the phase 2. Let's go.
The
Yeah, but the
Equinox
phase 2 is going to be
late
too
game
much.
too.
Even on the
Yeah, no. No, I
game
don't
one
disagree.
game one of the team, the singles and doubles, you may be able to get away with it, but you're going to be getting out of that ball fast.
Yeah, 100%. Just saying, it's a good ball though.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's a great ball. But if you throw it on the condition it's not meant for, it's not going to be a daddy ball anymore.
Well, yeah, no, absolutely. Mine's been sitting in the back seat for a little bit.
I didn't do it.
Not me either.
It's the baby's
Who's doing that?
bedtime.
Somebody's protesting.
She's 18 months old. So.
That'd be me. Oh, sorry.
Yep. Mama's putting her to bed.
Now, this is a little Missouri specific talk. Sorry, boys.
Oh,
Ozarks.
yeah.
Do you go down there? And if you do, when do you usually go?
What?
Do you bowl the Greater Ozarks?
No, have not yet. I've been asked about it, but I just haven't had time to go.
Okay, so if I have a spot next year, I'm asking you to go. We're going the 26th and 27th of this month. Obviously, you're still laid up now, but
What's up, Rich?
if I got a spot, I will definitely endorse you with the guys I go with.
Yeah, I'd be up for it. Just like
Yeah.
I got people trying to get me to go to Reno next year for
Nationals,
Yep.
Natty.
yeah, because I'm a part of a big bowling group on Facebook called Stream Bowling. I don't know if any of you heard about it.
He can't
But,
take your spot, Brian. He's in a sling. He just had surgery.
We're looking to get teams together for nationals every year now, and I'm being told I'm going to Reno next year, but we'll see if I even have the money for that first.
Yeah, that's when he gets out of his sling, Brian. Jesus.
I get out of it in 2 weeks for full time.
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's not for 2 weeks. Yeah, he's going to get right out of his sling, and he's not going to be able to throw a 15-pound ball right out of his sling without
Bullshit.
endangering himself of hurting himself again.
That's all I throw is 15 pounds.
I just put my money in for Reno this past week.
But
Some think they carry 15 pounds.
No, Reno is a big deal for me next year. That is like one of the last things on my bowling bucket list is to bowl in the stadium.
Right
No.
there with you, buddy. That's one of my top things that I like. It's on my bowling list.
do you see where it's supposed to be at in 2028?
No, I haven't.
South Carolina.
Really?
Really?
That's what I heard.
You and your Coke. I do.
I'll take a South
I
Carolina
actually, yeah.
trip.
Around Myrtle Beach, I
hell yeah.
believe.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, yes, please. Golf before
Yeah.
bowling, or
I'll have
golf
to
after
double
bowling?
check
Yes,
that,
please.
but I'm pretty sure that's what I seen.
And that's awesome actually, because I actually see a lot of content coming out of that area on TikTok. Not gonna lie,
Yeah.
a lot of people that are bowling in that area. They're at least pushing content.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say, maybe the convention center here, we could host a natty,
Oh God, at America Center.
put it at the Dome at the America Center.
Oh Lord.
You may have to be strapped going into the event, but
Yeah.
So who's gonna take over the TikTok tournament?
the TikTok Takeover Open.
Yeah, who's gonna take that over? Do we nominate Joel?
Joel said he'd bowl in it, but he's not running it.
Yeah, I know that's what. We're gonna need a couple people to do that.
I am far beyond unqualified to actually host this thing. I can promote it. I can talk about it every week, but I can.
Oh yeah, I
put it
can
together
promote
and
the hell
host
out of
it.
it too. Yeah, yeah. No. Quit.
Hey, you're a good
Bree.
promoter. That's
Yeah, I
it's in
can
your
promote.
DNA.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can promote all day. Don't get
One
me
way
wrong,
to find out some
nothing.
tournaments is other than Facebook, go to tournamentbowl.com and look in your
I was to
state.
say tournamentbowl.com is one of the best resources.
Yep, and put in your state and should see all kinds of stuff.
I wonder if we actually try to incorporate maybe somebody from like the Facebook community as well to help like run a like that tournament. Wonder if that would help us.
I was
don't
going
know.
to
I'm not
say
in Facebook. Couldn't tell you.
we can definitely get more into the details of how to get that set up and figure more stuff out when we get DGAB on in May, because he's the most experienced TD we know.
Hey, DGAP could probably host it for you, Brian. I mean, he's had experience. You seem.
I don't think he likes us that much.
Yeah.
He might. He likes Brian.
It's just gonna be a big venue. That's all.
This bowling group I'm a part of and an admin of, Stream Bowling on Facebook. We hold tournaments and challenges all the time. We just do it all virtually. And like this challenge we're doing now is 6 weeks long for the final one of the year. It's just a freebie entry, nothing spectacular. You get bragging rights. And there's other times where we'll do like a small entry fee or 20 or $25. And depending on how many people get in for each division, like the last winner's got like $150 to $170 gift cards to Bowlers Mart to get a new bowling
nice.
ball. And
Yeah.
so it's a fun group. We got almost 2,000 members in it.
And I'm not a part of this. Josh,
No, you?
add me to that group.
I got a lot of
sent you an
I got a lot
invite
of
for that
strike
before.
rewards.
But yeah, I'll send you an invite after this.
I got a lot of strike rewards on Bowlers Mart.
But
I was going to say, and that's the other thing. The Facebook groups is another great way to find tournaments. I think I'm a member of like 4 or 5 Missouri or Midwest bowling tournaments group pages.
one thing that sucks about that bowling group I'm on now that I'm an admin to it, I'm not allowed to enter in the tournaments. The challenges that we do.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
Admins out.
I'm learning around here. If Brian Himmler is going to the tournament, you don't bowl at it.
I won a challenge
Chief's taking
last
the win.
year and won a bowling ball last year. Right.
But yeah, I mean, especially if we do like the TikTok takeover open, it's going to be like in a centralized location as we can. But if Josh needs a ride to get there, he knows he's got one.
It's not me. You got to convince. You got to convince the wife to let me go.
No, she can bowl on your pair. The only requirement is it's got to be somebody from TikTok.
No.
And she's got to be cool with a stream on every pair.
Nah. Just like for me to go to nationals or whatever, she said if I come up with the money myself, I can go. But I paid child support.
Well,
That's hard.
You got plenty of bowling balls to sell.
Yeah, I got two swag balls I can sell. I got an Arctic Vibe I can sell.
You got what swags do you have? Are they
Yeah,
new swags or the old swags?
Graffiti Artist and Graffiti Tracker.
That's the old swag. Never mind.
Yeah, I know. The only way those balls hook for me is if I get them out in the friction next to the gutter. Other than that, they don't do shit.
Oh yeah, play in the ditch, baby.
Yep.
Roger says sell hers.
It's like I got the Hammer Blue not urethane. The only time that ball hooks for me if the lanes are fried. Other than that, I just use it for my 7 pins.
I was gonna say I'm gonna take an NU to nationals with me.
Yep, that's my corner pin ball.
He's gonna be out there hustling little kids on the lanes. I bet you I could pick this up for $10.
No, that's my buddy Keith. Every single time he leaves a split, he's like, "Hey man, 5 to 1 says I pick it."
I think we all know the key. I think we all know the key.
Yeah, but the Keith I'm talking about, his last name is Sarosky, right? So he's in my phone in my contacts list as Keith something.
Oh,
So guilty of that shit.
Another thing with that nickname I got, the
Danny,
lefty
there's
cheat
sugar
code
ready. I
nickname.
don't know if you can eat it or not.
Our old friend Patrick Roper gave me my nickname.
I don't know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, lefty cheat code.
lefty cheat code is what I call my purple hammer.
Yeah.
You know,
So
Actually, no,
Patrick
I don't
started
call it
calling
the
me that
lefty
and
cheat
just
code.
stuck.
I call it the purple cheat code.
that's back-to-back episodes that Roper's names come up.
He's a good guy.
Oh yeah,
He is.
absolutely.
He's
I'm
a, he's a
good friends with
genuinely
him.
good dude.
Yeah, I talked to him on the phone. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're buddies.
He's the reason why I have those 2 swag balls that I have.
Brian, you know the fact that I'm left-handed. You don't care what I throw because I'm never going to cross into your stuff.
Patrick's name in my phone is Patrick the Lefty Hater.
I was to say, Patrick's a good dude. He does a lot of good stuff for the game and the brand that he chooses to endorse.
Yep.
Yeah, we're actually when we go for the Derek Tate tournament, I think we're gonna room together in a hotel and hang out for the tournament that weekend. Yeah, he's a
Go
good
down in
dude.
Huntsville.
Yeah. So I was trying to line him up for the following Monday.
Oh, excuse me.
Woo!
I think he's gonna be traveling back
That was well
home
executed.
Monday. So we're gonna schedule. I think I'm gonna try to schedule him for the following week
My-
afterward.
My favorite non-track ball, though, Harsh Reality Pearl.
Yeah, hard.
Okay.
It's the ball that I shot my natural 300 in the 9-pin tournament with. Yeah.
Dude, I was at a practice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I threw the front 11, and this is before I got my first sanction 3. I literally put the ball in the gutter and kicked it down the lane. I'm like, nope, first one's not going to be in practice. It's going to mean something.
Nah. But
Dude, yeah.
now I've got three sanctioned and 1 non-sanctioned 300. But
Well, at the time, I had thrown 3 sanctioned 290s. So I was like, what's one more, especially if it's unsanctioned, and kick the ball down the gutter.
no.
Lady was watching me. She's like, "Why'd you do that?" I said, "Because I haven't shot I haven't shot a sanctioned one yet, and I didn't want this one to be the first one."
No. But now all my equipment's all drilled pin up except for one. And the one that's drilled pin down is the OG TNT.
Okay,
I have that one drilled pin down.
that was one of those balls that I avoided because it was so love-hate.
I like it. But I haven't thrown it in league since probably last fall season. I'll take it to a tournament. If I'm doing like an 8-game sweeper or whatever, I'll take it. But
Yeah, Brian loves shooting 260 plus because he'll get into the 7th or 8th frame and throw one bad shot that doesn't carry.
no. But
Apparently, I can't close.
that
Yeah,
criteria
We'll get you to the promised land, and I promise I'll be there when it happens.
that Criterion solid
We'll
is
get
so
there.
damn strong at Oasis. The only way I can keep it on the left side there is if I throw it over 15 and get it out to about 5 to keep it on the left side of the lane.
That's my go-to shot, 15.5. What you talking?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
And when I throw that ball, that's going to be my shot.
Usual.
I'm waiting to see what this hybrid's going to do when I get back to bowling.
Shot 290 on Saturday, getting Brunsnicked in the first frame. Ouch. Well, and Bri, that's the St. Louis shot. the St. Louis shot loves the weaker end of the benchmarks. So you can take a Venom Shock, you can take anything as far down as an IQ Tour or a Hustle Camo and throw it all 3 games.
Yeah, I was gonna say even fucking High Road.
Oh, dude, you have no idea how many people throw high roads in this area, Josh.
Dude,
I don't.
I know, but how many racks do you see that have high roads on them?
Dude,
I've
my
seen a
league
few.
house has a ton of high roads. A ton of high roads.
But
But they're also
Oh,
not
see,
a
a
lot
lot
of
of T-Force
high road
here.
guys either.
We have. I won an IQ Tour AI so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, the IQ AI is on the list. And I think there's a couple. I think there's 2 swags that are on my list right now.
the only other ball I got on my list right now is when at the summer league. I'll probably get that track, that stealth mode, unless track comes out with something else before then.
I like it.
Yeah,
That
I've
is
heard
supposed
a
to
lot of
be
good stuff
a
on
daddy
stealth,
benchmark
yeah.
type ball. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
you get a lot of use out of it.
No, I'm sure. I've heard great things about it.
You can play straight with it. You can play hook. You can play big hook. It's got a
No.
quick snap to it. I like it.
But I got to get a special effect tour because that's going to wind up replacing and retiring my obsession tour, which is my 300 ball.
I do love my special effects. I'm not gonna lie. It's banging.
I was going to say Britt made the identity look really good last night.
Yeah, she did. I seen the video.
Question. I'm glad she's in here. How do you really feel about that, Brett? Does it have a good shape to it? Do you like the way it's laid out? I really want to know about that ball because
I'm not a fan of Motive.
I love me some motive. But I have a love-hate relationship with it because if I don't match up with it, it does nothing. But if I match up with it, it's amazing.
A buddy of mine's trying to tell me that if he ever has enough money, he's going to buy me my first Motive ball. And I was like hell you are. And he just bought the
did you buy the
Evoke
ball
Hysteria.
silver?
No, it's a storm ball. You know better.
I was going to
Right,
say, if
bro.
anybody's going to go out and
That
order
was
the
really-
new EJ ball right away, it's Brian. Brian's bought almost every one of the EJ balls. And
I would not want that white bowling ball at all. Be such a pain in the ass to keep clean.
life after death will take care of it.
Throw 8.
Shout out
You
CTD.
mean this stuff right here?
All right,
Yep,
nice.
that stuff right there.
Thanks, Brett.
This is some other
This is the
great ball
prettiest ball.
holder too.
What is the die?
Wait a
on,
minute,
bro?
is he holding an Ion Max?
Yep,
That's all I get.
Yeah.
That's his wife's ball. It's not his.
that's my son's.
I was close.
Stop pulling your son's balls, bro. It's a family show.
Dude, we got like 45 bowling balls in this house, dude.
I figured Brian had an EJX Jackal coming. I'll watch him
I
throw it,
thought
and then I'll
about-
decide if it's going to match up with my game or not.
My
I thought about getting the EJ. I definitely ain't going to get the Belmo because everybody's getting the Belmo.
my wife's
Yeah,
got a
I've
Brunswick
never been a
Rhino,
Belmo
and
ball guy.
my wife's got the Roto Grip Hustle M&M for her.
M&M's a pretty ball.
Yeah.
So here's a fun fact for you. I can own the Tropical Surge. Hammer makes it for Storm. They have them do the production of it.
Isn't
Well,
is it?
and the
basically
funny-
same thing as a raw.
The funny thing about Brian's comment down there is I just saw a TikTok from the PBA, and it was Andrew Anderson, and he said, "Why haven't you made any money?" And then he flips the camera around, and EJ Tack is standing there with 2 thumbs up.
Undertaker Facebook Marketplace is a
Or-
good place.
Or if you don't want any money off it, go to a youth league or whatever and see if there's any youths that are in need of some equipment.
Yeah.
I was
Donate
going to say,
to
how do you
your
think
pro
Carter
shop.
got to
Donate it.
bowling balls?
Usually, if it's something that I don't really want to make any money off of, I will just leave it at the bowling alley with someone at the front desk and just tell them, if they have any new bowlers that are coming in looking to get into leagues, and it's a bowl that might kind of fit them, just give it to them. Like, give them a head start, give them something to work with, because the house ball is not going to really get you far.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we used to do in the late 90s, early 2000s. If you were done with the ball, you just sat it on a house rack and walked away.
Yeah, right. That's what I used to do back in the day. Now that I know like the people like that run the bowling alleys and stuff, I'll just talk to them and be like, look, give this to somebody that actually would enjoy it and use it for the proper things,
Yeah, 100%.
No.
But yeah, we
Or
used to
you
call it
see
the
somebody-
bowling. We used to call it the bowling ball exchange program. You found a house
Yeah.
shot that somebody dropped off. You left yours that you were dropping off, and you took the one you liked.
I mean, or if you see
my-
a young kid who's trying to get into it and he wants to get a hook ball, just hand him one.
What's up, Kelson?
Yeah.
What up, Kelson? What's going on, buddy?
Thanks everybody for stopping by, man.
Yeah, we've been really bad about doing this, and we talked about it in our group chat.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe,
about to
comment,
say
do all the
that.
good stuff that you know you're supposed to do. Por favor.
Yep.
Scoop everybody up. Support each
But
other.
again, I appreciate everybody guys stopping by. We'll
Oh,
better
yeah.
at that.
So, what's your guys' adjustment when you're half a board off and you just can't find that mark?
Ball change.
Yep.
Ball change?
It's either ball change or ball speed. I mean,
See, I'm terrible at adjusting my speed. So if I'm
You ain't the only one,
close,
buddy.
if I'm close and I know I've got a slightly weaker or slightly stronger
Are you-
option, without even thinking twice, I ball change.
So you're like a one speed dominant thrower.
No,
You
I
have,
can
like,
vary
one
my
speed
speed. I'm
only?
just not very consistent with it. Like even if I'm trying to like slow down and slow hook the entire lane, I will scoot way up on the approach, and I'll go from 17.5 to 15.5, and I can't get it below 15 miles an hour.
You get like Chihuahua syndrome and just fucking
My problem is I throw between 18 to 20 miles per hour. And it's hard to go slower than 18 for me.
Well, that's the thing, Brian, is I'm not trying to adjust my swing speed. I'm trying to shorten my steps and shorten my drive so my swing speed stays the
so you're
same,
close. Yeah.
but it only varies by like 2 miles an hour.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, I usually just switch to the Mania, but I didn't know if it's take a step back or take a step forward, if I could change that too.
Yeah, if I'm trying to slow down my speed, I will go because my approach, I have a very long slide. So I'm all the way at the very back of the approach. Like my foot is usually resting on the approach divider.
Back end. Yep.
And if I'm wanting to slow my speed down, I will move all the way up to the second set of dots and shorten my steps.
Okay, that makes sense.
No.
Oh, goodness.
I still struggle against house ball throwers. I mean, that's my issue. I want to
No,
hide the
you-
house balls.
You have no idea. Last night
Nelson, it's a pain in the ass.
we were giving up 225 pins handicap last night, and we were against straight ball shooters, 10-mile-an-hour throwers, and it didn't matter what they did. They all
That
fell
is
down.
not what I would recommend for slowing the speed down. I don't recommend tearing a bicep tendon to do it.
Oh my lord!
Yeah, we
it was
bowled last night.
diabolical. It was
We bowled
diabolical.
last night. We had 2 games. We started out negative 214. So by the end of the second game, they had 428 pins. And I'm like, what the hell?
See, now that defeats the entire purpose of the sling there, boss, when you're covering your mouth with the bad arm.
No,
It's not.
slingshot, slingshot, slingshot.
I got a lot
You know?
more mobility with it now, so I'm good.
Because technically, I don't have to wear it because I'm not in public.
Yeah, if
so.
I'm since I'm home, I don't really have to wear it, but it's sore right now, so I'm wearing it.
Quit playing with your.
Well, I fixed it with fun.
All right. Comment of the night. Wasn't there a song back in the 80s? Playing with
My dinga,
Taylor?
yes.
Ding-a-ding? Yeah. What a good song.
Oh, that was hilarious.
That's a good timing for that guy to join. I'm not saying it, but you could look down and see the name that just joined. Oh, it was Jack.
Oh, it's gone.
I heard.
But no, and the other thing I do when I'm trying to slow my speed down is I will not go back on my backswing as far too. Like I will shorten my backswing even farther, but maintain the same speed.
Yeah. Like half cut the shot.
Yep.
My problem with trying to slow everything down, all my stuff
Thank you, Sean.
pretty much well drilled to be real strong. If I slow it down, it's just going to go Brooklyn every damn time.
I was to say, yeah, it's just going to go sideways and hook to the 7-pin.
No, 10-pin.
Oh well, yeah, we're right armed, they're wrong armed. I
Yep.
still say everything wrong armed.
Yeah.
Undertaker,
Well,
my
that's-
highest game is 298.
300. I've done it once, and I've got a 299 plus 4 290s.
I got a 298. I had the ring from way back in the day, and I freaking lost it. I wish I still had that damn ring.
I've had 3 298s.
The night I shot that 298, I ended it with a 799 series.
Oh no!
And that was a week that the pros were in town bowling a tournament, and we had league after they got done with practice. So like Dick Weber and all them were still hanging around. And I actually got Dick Weber to sign that score sheet, but I don't know what happened to it. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would be a good recommendation actually. If you're wanting to slow your speed down, get a ball that's drilled for drill one short pinned
Mm-hmm.
because that'll way reduce the flare so it doesn't get over aggressive when you slow down.
And Steve, do you ever bowl at St. Clair Bowl over there in O'Fallon or Fairview Heights?
Not yet.
No. That's where I used to bowl league at back in the day.
That's a drive, man. Holy crap.
Well, I used to live in Illinois, so
Ah, okay, that makes a
I
lot
used
more
to live
sense.
only 30 minutes from
Have it
there.
squirt.
Back in when I was in high school, I still lived in Warrenton, but I was driving to Crest all the way in Florissant to bowl.
No. St. Clair Bowl is where they do the holiday doubles every year.
Yep.
But
And I also want to bowl at St. Clair's where McKendree bowls. So
Yeah.
same place.
you'll love that house. I love that house.
Okay, string pins is the topic of conversation tonight, apparently, because there's another question from Kelson about string pins.
I've never bowled
Yeah, that
on
was
them.
what we were talking about earlier. Is the certified edge string pins will force you to be more accurate, and if it's going to force you to be more accurate, the one-handers will generally have an advantage over the two-hander.
Yep.
And honestly, the string sets that I actually bowled on, even it was a Bolero that they just built not too long ago in Dania, off of 95, and even the approach was like super short. Like, and I don't mean like, oh, it was like a step short. It was like 3 foot, if not more, shorter than a regular approach for a lane. Like
Dude, that's like main event. Have you been to the main event in Chesterfield, Josh?
Yeah, but I haven't
the
bowled on
furthest
there
pitch
though.
I've ever been on. I was
Dude,
like,
their
what the hell?
approaches are like half size.
No.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's the same kind of thing. I was like, I took like two to three steps and I'm already there. And I'm like, I'm like 5 to 6 step, and I don't take like large steps. And I'm like, I'm already on top of the line.
That was our main event story that I told a couple weeks ago. The guy, user, is the guy I went with. We brought our equipment into main event, and they looked at us sideways because we were bringing in our own stuff.
No.
That's kind of what happened at Bolero, which is crazy to say. That's what happened at a Bolero.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
did you
like,
bring
when's the
your
last
own
time
blue
you
ball?
oiled the lanes? They're like, you oil lanes? We're like, okay, we're putting our stuff back, and we're just messing around with their plastic house balls.
Yeah. What we used our balls maybe 3 or 4 frames straight gutter, and I don't mean like off to the gutter. No, that
Mm-hmm.
that
Second you lay it
that
down, it's okay.
yeah, like 10 feet down the lane, it's already making this turn, and I'm like, oh my god, dude. I'm like,
Yeah,
why are
Undertaker,
they
the
doing this?
place I'm talking about will never host league because they will never be USB certified because their approaches are like two-step approaches.
But that
It is
and that was the
literally
thing too.
a family center where people just throw
Go
balls down there and drink.
And
play
when we were
arcades, laser tag.
at
Yeah.
that Bolero, they were like, "Oh yeah, we have leagues. You should join." I'm like, "Oh really? You have leagues in this place?
Mhm.
Oh, it's a nightmare."
Never bowled at a Bolero. Don't plan on it.
I've only done recreational. I've never done leagues in a Bolero, and I've done tournaments in a Bolero.
Exactly. What Brian just
Yeah,
said. It's like Top Golf. You go there for fun. You don't go there to be
yeah,
serious.
No.
yeah.
Now, if you're going to shoot like a PBA event, 99% of them are at a Bolero or an AMF because the PBA
Yeah,
owns the facility.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like
Mhm.
you're gonna run into it when you're doing tournaments and stuff like that. Like it's just inevitable.
But obviously, when they do that, they actually put oil out on the lanes, and it's actually a
Yeah,
pretty good shot.
they kind of. Yeah, I will say. I say they care more, 100%, than just a rec league.
Oh.
The Bolero close to me is usually flooded. That's odd because usually Bolero does not waste oil unless they're hosting an event.
Yeah, a lot of houses don't really waste oil if they're not if there's no benefit for them.
I still tell that story to this day, Brian. Dude, dude bowls an entire PBA event with a kidney stone that's moving through, so it's moving and tearing and hurting, and he's throwing an entire PBA event. Then we go to the Airbnb. That next morning, he passes the stone. He's like, "Can we go like back and bowl this tournament again?"
I'm talking about Brian.
Yeah.
Trooper.
75 up the road, they put so much oil down on their fake lanes. You have to
Do you
throw
want
the
me to
ball like
put
2 mile an hour
the
just to get it through
other
anything.
patty and the shrimp in a bowl for? Because I'm off
Please.
tomorrow, so.
Please. Oh, let's see.
Have you bowled at Plaza lanes yet, Steve?
Yeah, I bowl Summer League at Plaza. I
Right.
bowl the Mulligan League there.
Well, they put a shit ton of oil out there.
They do. It is a heavier oil shot.
Yeah, very heavy.
And that's where they host the 700 tournament every year,
No.
which that was forgettable this year. I think I averaged 154 in the 700 tournament this year.
No. I've only bowled there once, and it was in a 9-pin 5-man team last year. It was like during a snowstorm. They didn't cancel it, and I drove from Washington all the way there doing like 40 miles an hour and fucking snowstorm.
The entire way.
Yeah. And got there with like 30 minutes to spare before everything started.
Hey, still got there in time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I like Plaza enough to bowl there during the summer, but like during the long season, I can't bowl there because I don't want to get home at 10:30, 11 o'clock because their pin setters are so slow.
Yeah. Yep.
Just a disclaimer: drive responsible, everybody.
As always.
Don't do what bowlers do. Drive smart.
Yep. Yeah, I almost wish it was canceled, but nope, I still went.
Well, that ruined the PBA doubles tournament that me and Brian were going to bowl one year. Like it was there was a huge snowstorm. Our original flights got canceled. We rebooked to a different airline because they were still flying, and then they got canceled. And we tried to do it a third time, and it's like, all right, we're obviously not getting out of St. Louis this weekend. We're not going to be able to go to Vegas.
No.
That made me very mad.
Made me very mad too. Made Brian very mad.
The only time I've ever been to Vegas, I drove there from
For
here.
that trip.
That was a freaking stupid idea.
Drive all the way through?
Hell no.
Nah.
I got from my house
Somebody's lost their fucking mind.
to
on that
Vegas.
part.
I made it there basically in 24 hours straight through.
I was
with
going to say,
like
it's about a
2-hour break.
24, 25 hour drive.
Come on, it's fucking cold.
Only because my wife at the time refused to fly, so I had to drive. And I drove the whole way. She didn't even bother to help or nothing.
Try to freeze me out.
She didn't ask. She didn't ask to stop at a rest stop.
Man, we drove down through Oklahoma, Texas, and all that on the way there. Then on the way back, drove up through Utah, Colorado, Kansas.
Oh, you
Just made one big
avoided
old
the-
circle out of it.
I was saying you avoided the peaks of the Rockies.
Yeah, well, we got through Denver is probably like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. So that was brutal.
But yeah, Vegas, Reno, those are not drivers. Those are flyers.
Yeah.
Hell to the no, I ain't driving.
Yep.
I'm all for a road trip, but no. Because it ain't gonna be
I'm
you
driving,
driving,
I'm
it's gonna be me. Hell to the motherfucking no.
And then we stayed in Vegas for like a whole week, and that was way too damn long.
Oh God, yeah. There's a reason Vegas is rich and we're not.
Yeah. We were there from a Tuesday to a Sunday. I advise only 2 to 3 days max.
Yep.
Never again.
Roger, you are a greater man than I, because I will not make the drive to Vegas.
No. Tell the truth.
Iowa is one of the most boring states
I
other than
am not
Missouri.
driving to Vegas.
I have not had issues long haul driving since we've gotten together. Thank you very much. Who drives the majority of the time to Atlanta when we go? Me.
Me. I don't get to be passenger princess.
Bull crap. You say that because you don't remember it because in 5 minutes you're asleep.
Mhm.
She's like, I won't fall asleep. I'll be your. I'll make sure you stay awake and you're alert. And I look over, we're not even out of Warrenton yet, and she's snoozing.
My wife, as soon as she sees a rest stop,
Sure
okay,
am.
stop. Okay, stop. Every
Been to
time,
Nebraska.
Okay, stop. I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be the longest trip ever.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah,
Nope. I
That's
stop
how we
every
feel.
2 to 2.5 2 to 3 hours. That's I have to make at least 2 hours before I stop.
I when I have to fill up the tank, if that's the case, then that's when I stop.
Well, that's usually why it's every 2 to 3 hours because usually
That,
that's how long it takes to empty a tank.
Right.
That
yeah,
year that I
like-
drove down to Vegas was 2014. So when we got to Arizona, fucking gas was $4.30 a gallon back then. That was fucking brutal.
No thanks.
Yeah. So
Well, heck, that's why I didn't.
Lord.
That's why I didn't fly to. That's why I didn't do a regional in Texas in 2021, because the closest regional was in Lubbock, and I'm like, okay, cool, not too bad. Then I looked. I'm like, no, you have to fly into Houston, and then you have to get into a rental car and drive another 5.5 hours to get to Lubbock. No thanks.
no.
Because people fail to realize just how big Texas is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily, when I drove through there, it was only the top part of Texas and not the other part.
Right, because I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, I fly to Houston, no big deal. It's like then you get into a rental car and you basically drive to Topeka, Kansas from St.
Yeah.
Louis. No thanks.
Yep. And I hated driving through Oklahoma because all the damn tolls.
That and the red clay that covers your car.
Yeah. And by the time I got to the last toll in Oklahoma, I was completely out of change on cash on me. So I blew through that motherfucker.
Whoops.
Never got a ticket in the mail or anything like that, so I'm good. Well, I was completely out of change or cash on me, and I just blew right through the last toll. Luckily, it was past midnight, so there was nobody working the toll at the time, but still.
That's when you just keep driving and throw whatever you got in the car at it.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yep.
It's like, no, I paid it. It just didn't catch it as I was going through at 35 miles an hour.
But yeah,
Yeah.
must not registered.
Yep. Then I made it driving a freaking Mercury Milan. That was brutal.
Ew.
Yeah.
Gross.
Uh-huh.
Oh, look who's on my TV.
Who's that, Tacky?
Nope.
I can't see it.
Pac-Man.
It was in the bottom left. All right, there it is.
There you go.
The
I'm
Pac-Man.
watching the Blues lose their first game. They're not going to continue the streak.
What's the score?
2-1 with 53
they
seconds
got-
to go in the third.
They still got time. Joe Boo will make it happen.
Yeah. They've had a lot of close calls. Should be winning, but
I was say they're playing who? Toronto?
Winnipeg.
Same difference.
Yeah.
It's all Canadian.
Yep.
I would kill you, Brian.
Man, that's a throwback.
Let's everybody buy a Steve mask and just start driving through tolls.
I will turn into Shaggy quicker than anything. It wasn't me.
We have you in 5 different states, sir. We need to have a talk.
At the same time. At the same how can you be in Florida and Oklahoma at the exact same time?
Yeah.
Hey, you'd be famous. They think you like teleporting.
Squirt, get out.
What are you doing, girl?
Has anybody seen
Get
Steve?
down.
Yeah, he's being tested at the lab.
I was to say, I came straight out of the movie The Prestige. There's like 15 of me. All right, so we're about an hour and 15 minutes in, so we got about another 15 minutes left. We usually like to keep this right around an hour and a half. That way we don't go too terribly long.
Yep.
Good question, Undertaker. If I could teleport, why would I need to use the tolls?
We're talking about our government, and they couldn't figure that out. That's too complex of a question. Sorry.
So let's see here. What's a good topic to end on with Big Josh? Okay. And you're 17 years away.
Mm-hmm.
How many times did you think about coming back and ending the time away?
Honestly, none.
Really? See, that's where we differed.
I was busy.
Every year I'm like, I had the itch.
I was busy throughout the summer and everything because my two boys, they play select baseball, so they're always playing ball,
No.
everything, and working, and just never really gave it a second thought.
No.
Yeah, the second I stepped.
No.
But I did try to get back into it around 08
Just broke our 12
because I bought that
winning streak.
Kinetic Energy.
You
But-
fuckers.
Just never
Fucking Canadians.
went any further.
But
In case you didn't realize that the Blues lost.
Yep, 3-1, 8 seconds to go.
Oh, rail.
they didn't take Jobu with them. Mother.
Can't win them all.
Apparently, Jobu couldn't get through customs.
No.
It's all right. It's all right. 12 is a good number. 13 is a bad luck number anyway.
Yeah. At least they're playing better than the Cardinals right now.
Oh, God. Don't even get me started.
I know. That series.
Here comes the first
Boston
international
was
bowling
atrocious.
incident. No, that almost happened when I was in Mexico because there was a bowling alley in Mexico, and I decided I was going to go to the bowling alley in Cancun, which is way off the resort areas and is a lot more dangerous than they let on.
Yeah, usually there's signs. Which is crazy. There's
Well,
resort.
When you go to Cancun, they're like, hey, enjoy the area around the resort. You can go to the market
Exactly, there's signs.
during the day.
Yeah,
But they said,
yeah.
they said, make sure you're back on resort property by sundown.
Yes, absolutely.
They were not kidding.
Yeah, and even when you go out during the day, you have to protect yourself.
During the
general.
bus ride back to the resort after dark, I was like, yay. It was a little clinched the entire ride there.
Absolutely. You have to be on your toes, 100%. I
Okay.
did have a long
Here-
talk with my wife about it when we were over in Punta Cana for our honeymoon. When we went off resort, I'm like, when I say it's time to go, I mean it's time to go. Like, no if and but, it's time to go. Same thing.
That is actually an excellent question to end on because everybody handles this in their own different way. How do you figure out transition when the lanes transition? Now, Josh, I know we don't handle this nearly as much as a guy like Brian does,
Oh,
but
no,
we
we
do
don't.
still experience transition.
I usually experience it about the third game, but I'll usually switch balls and go from there.
See, I'm a lefty that's not afraid to move right and play inside.
Mm-hmm.
So when I start seeing the ball get closer and closer to the head pin, get higher and higher, that's when I'll start migrating because I want to stay ahead of it because I don't want to stay there until a split comes and then I'm behind.
No.
So I'm like, ooh, that ball came in a little too high. I don't want to stay there any longer. And then I move. And I usually make like a 3 and 2 is my first move. And then if the 3 and 2 isn't enough, that's usually when I'll try to ball down.
With me, I very rarely move my feet. I'll just move my eyes on the lane and throw a different spot. Other than that, my feet pretty much will almost stay same spot all night long. Because me being a lefty, and there's only maybe 5 or 6 lefties in my whole league, so I don't really deal with it very much.
Now, Brian, with you being a two-hander, your approach is a little bit different. I know how you usually handle transition. Most people will ball down during transition, but with Brian being the type of style two-hander that he is, well, actually one-hander, no thumb technically, but same thing. He actually balls up to a blendier ball and usually tries to play around the same area with a stronger ball that'll blend the pattern out.
I typically
Because if he goes into a
stay
weaker
right
ball, it's going to get sideways and just take off.
Yeah.
and then switch to my mania and go on the left side.
My or my league arsenal usually consists of the Archetype Solid or the Paragon Pearl, and then the Hammer New for corner pins. Occasionally, I'll bring the Harsh Reality Pearl. So it's just
Right,
Those-
City. My thing is when it comes to that, when I'm looking I look at how my ball exits the pin deck and how it's in relation to the 8-9. If the ball goes through the pocket and deflects more towards the 8-pin, I know my ball's not driving through the head, not driving through the pocket and finishing strong enough. If it is freight training past the 8 and hitting the 9 in the face as it exits the pin deck, that's when I know the ball's too strong. Ideally, you want a ball to finish through the pin deck, splitting the 8-9.
and
But most people don't pay attention to what their ball's doing after it hits the head pin, and they don't understand that not all strikes are the same.
Right.
yep.
Yeah.
I'm learning that myself too. So
If you really pay attention to the way the pins fall, it will tell you a lot about the way your ball hit the pocket. 100%.
And what your ball's doing throughout the pin
Right.
cycle.
Right.
Because you can hit a perfect head pin, perfect pocket shot, and if the ball's deflecting, you're still going to leave corner pins and 9 pins.
Right, dude.
In my scenario, anyway, you guys would be leaving 8 pins.
Perfect pocket shots, leaving 7-10 splits.
I've left a
Nightmares.
few of those this year.
Oh yeah, dude. I just
7-10
had one the other
splits
night.
usually aren't perfect headshots. They're coming behind the head pin, and you're getting a double blower.
Nope.
ain't nothing wrong with a double blower.
And when I say a double blower, I mean both the 4 and the 6 pin are wrapping around the 7 and the 10.
Team Cobra on that, bro.
No. I was looking at my lane talk stats the other day, and I've left over 67 pins this year alone.
See, I leave more 10 pins than I do 7s.
And I'm about 80% spare rate on my 7 pins this year.
That's pretty damn good.
I leave a lot of 7-pin, more than the 10.
I crush 7. I 10. I would say I'm probably 85% maybe.
I got so excited about trying to pick up spares. It was affecting my league games because I'm like, oh, a spare. Oh shit, no, I need a strike.
That's where your thought process needs to change. Because
Yeah.
spares are, in an overall game, spares are more important than strikes because you can have 2 strikes and all spares the rest of the time and still shoot 200.
Yeah, but my issue was I was too focused on getting spares. I was like, oh yeah, I'm here to strike also. So, I mean, Friday I didn't do bad. I bowled
Here's another good
277,
question
231.
for y'all. Where at do you prefer to bowl at in the lineup? Like
I
first,
prefer third.
or-
I bowl third.
I like third.
I was to say I'm either 4th or 5th. I'm either the cleanup hitter or the anchor.
I bowl best at anchor. Is where I'm at.
See, like my son, he's a better bowler than all of us, but he has to go first. He can't handle pressure, but he's got higher average than all of us. Now, my wife, she likes to go second, but she can play all 4, but she just prefers to go second. I like third, and then we use her mother-in-law or my mother-in-law as our anchor because she's better under pressure.
And that's the entire thing about the anchor bowler. The anchor bowler's got to be able to handle the pressure.
Right.
No.
All right, so as like a league captain, how I kind of run my roster is I try to take my two strongest guys, put one first and one at last. Kind of like, like start off and go get them, knock them out at the end.
See,
Is that
now
usual for everybody?
if I have two good bowlers, that's the strategy. One at the front and one at the bottom. If I have three good bowlers, it's one at the front and then 4 and 5.
I'm the only good bowler on my team. The rest of my team
There's
sucks.
4-man teams.
Steve knows 2 of the people that are on my team,
I sure do.
and you know how bad they suck.
People under the bus.
Well, I mean, me and Josh first started talking. I was like, how in the hell did you end up on a team with these people?
Because the 2 of the people that were supposed to be on my team backed out, and they ended up bowling on a team with his mom and sister and them at Cave.
Oh, bro.
So that's how I got stuck with a guy that's like in his 70s. I got stuck with Sheila. Bradford was going to be on my team regardless because I asked him about being on the team.
That's exactly it. Me and Brian usually, like this year, he was our like quasi-permanent sub, so he wound up bowling 4th and I bowled 5th.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times, me and him will flip flop, and as long as me and him are in that 4 or 5 that 4 or 5 spot, it doesn't matter who's bowling 4th, who's bowling 5th. One will strike, the other will follow suit. Oddly enough, one picks a split. The guy that, like, say I picked the split first, his next frame he splits. He usually picks it too.
No. But
I'm just gonna go recruit a bunch of people that bowl 100 so they can have 120 handicap.
Oh, dude, do not do that.
I'm just teasing.
there's a
That's
team
the only
in
thing
my,
we lose to is handicap.
there's a team in my
Oh,
league
yeah.
that's got like
I
a
agree.
390 some pins handicap a game.
Dude, that's crazy.
Oh, God.
That's so crazy, bro.
All they got to do is show up.
And it takes
Sunday
That's
night,
on a
Just
good
get a
night, it
spare.
takes us to like the
Get a
9th,
spare. That's all they
10th
gotta do,
frame
get a
to
spare.
beat them.
Right, exactly. You're taken to the 8th frame to get within 20, the 9th frame
Yeah.
to get even, and the 10th frame to win if you're lucky.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Sunday night was that way. My son bowled a 212. I bowled a 231. Our 4th guy, he bowled a 177, and I think she bowled a 129, and we still lost by 50 pins. And they only had like a 100. One had 100, one had an 80, one had a 90. I'm like, how the hell? I mean, overall pin wise, we beat them pretty bad. I mean, we had like 800 pins that game, and they only had 400. But I'm like, what the fuck? They killed us on
I
handicap.
don't know what handicap looks like. I have 0.
I do for the most part. I got one handicap at our Wednesday night one, but I haven't really been focusing on that one.
My Wednesday night league, I have the highest average in the league at 236.
Well, every time I don't like throwing my ball down Wednesday night because every time I throw it down the lane, it seems like it gets tore up. So I've really been I've been using mediocre gear, so because I don't want to get tore up. I mean, my son, his Ion Max, we had just had to get it fixed because he went and power edged it first throw at that lane. It broke it. Both my widows have been broke. I've got a Ghost Pearl that's been tore up. I've had a 2.0 that's been tore up there. She's had a Physics ripped apart there. I mean, it's just a nightmare of lanes.
I wouldn't even be bowling there.
I like the people there, though, man. They're really good people. The owner's just a joke. That's all it is.
Doesn't matter. I don't care how good the people are. If it's tearing my equipment up, I am hasta luego.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it dinged Brian's ball up when he was there.
Yeah. My Equinox got a little. It wasn't bad, but I mean, yeah, it got a little more. But I mean, even
I don't mind a beauty
Even
scar
my
here or
house.
there because that builds character in the
Yeah.
ball.
Yeah, my even my house fucking it happens. You know.
But if I come back and it's no longer round because there's a big ass chunk missing,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
we're not going back.
I
Well,
don't know. I'll see if my camera picks up the ions damage. Hold on, let me grab it.
Yeah. I mean, it's inevitable. It's gonna happen. Unfortunate, but
luckily none of mine have been damaged yet.
I don't know if you can see that.
What, the little red flake?
No, right there. That's the core. That white dot's the core.
Right. That's the mass bias in the ball.
Yeah, that's how bad it took a chunk out of that ball.
Come closer to your camera a little bit.
Oh, is that a plug job around the pin? Or around the mass
No.
bias?
That's not the pen. The pen is right here.
Right, but that's the mass bias indicator.
Yep.
Is that what that is? But yeah,
Yeah.
you can see right there is where they patched it.
Yeah, dude.
And that little dot in there is. That's how
well,
bad
that's
it tore
always
that
going to be
ball.
there because that's an ASIM ball.
Yeah, but they ripped the cover stock off of it. I mean, it literally ripped the cover stock right off of it. That was the plug job. That clear spot right there is acrylic.
Okay, that's what I was asking is if it had the plug job around the mass bias pin.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, that's enough for me to go, yeah, y'all, I ain't coming back until you fix this shit.
Yep.
Well, I told him to take it back up there and demand that they replace it. I mean,
Well, they're not going to do
that
that if they fix the damage.
yeah. I mean, I guess as long as it rolls the same, fuck it. But to me, it's just a joke. I haven't thrown my new track there. I've got a stealth mode hybrid. I refuse to throw it there.
Well, if there was a place where I refused to throw brand new equipment, I wouldn't be throwing any equipment there. But that's
Yep.
just
that's bullshit.
that's bullshit. All right, guys. Well, it is about that time, and like Brian said, it's not going to hurt anything. It's not in the track. It's just all cosmetic.
Yep.
Right, facts. I know, but it's you spend $250, $260 on
Oh,
a
yeah.
ball. It's discouraging.
Oh yeah, you'll find a big, huge battle scar, and they're like, "Oh, not in your track. Don't care."
Right. Sad thing is, they send probably 10 to 15 balls a week to Dave's World of Bowling to get fixed. Logan sent me a picture of one that the night after it tore up that ball, it shot a ball out the back and it shattered it.
Yeah, that's no bueno.
Yeah.
Now I have legitimately seen a ball get damaged at the back end of the pit, and the ball come back from the ball return in pieces.
You playing video games there, Steve?
No, I'm watching somebody play video games.
I'll be doing that once we get off here.
Yeah, I would, but I'm gonna go to bed instead.
Well,
Because if I fire up MLB The Show now, I'll be up until midnight.
unfortunately for me, I got 2 more weeks off of work at least, so I ain't got nothing going on.
Oh yeah, then play away, my man. Play away.
Oh yeah.
If it doesn't stop raining around here, I'm not going to have no work for a month.
Dude, today was the first day in Missouri. It hasn't rained in like a week.
Yeah.
Raining?
Yeah.
Dang, son.
Yeah, the Ohio's up pretty, like, I think it crested at 60 today.
Like,
Man.
I sat there and on my drive home or on my drive to work this morning, I'm like, wait, is that the sun? I haven't seen you in a week.
Yeah. I live like 2 blocks away from the Missouri River, so that's really high right now.
Yeah, the Ohio River is extremely high right now.
Well,
All right, boys and girls, it is about time to wrap her up.
Yeah.
So, Josh, it was a pleasure. I will
Don't squish the dog.
see you at Cave, but I'm sure we'll probably organize something where we'll bowl together before then.
As soon as I get out of this goddamn thing, we're getting together and we're doing some bowling.
Yes, sir.
You're definitely not wrong on that.
Yeah.
And then we'll get you down for once we finally get this thing organized. We'll get you down to the TikTok Open challenge, TikTok Challenge Open, or the TikTok Open, or whatever we're gonna wind up calling it.
I haven't really been posting. I haven't posted a video on here in freaking forever. But come this summer and everything, I'm gonna start trying to post more, do some more lives and stuff. But
Well, see, and that's the thing is I don't post a whole lot, but I go live 3 nights a week.
yeah. The last video I did, a random video that I had in my storage that I had just posted up for the Striking for Kelly thing. I was like, oh, I'll just throw this video on there since I can't bowl right now. So
Right.
that was the last one that I did.
And definitely want to say I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've followed Patrick for a while, so I've kind of watched her bowl and all that. So
Yeah,
It's-
awesome.
But anyway, what are you going to tell everybody to do, Brian?
What am I going to tell everybody to do?
Squirt, what are you doing?
Don't you usually tell everybody to go kick rocks?
I mean, I wouldn't say kick rocks. No, that's not right. Go throw the rock.
Go throw a rock. That's right.
Go
But
throw
no,
the
that's
rock.
that's a throw. That's a throwback to one of Joel's lines. He's like, "Hey, what do we tell everybody at the end of a, at
Yeah,
the end of
go,
a,
love you.
the
Bye.
video?"
No, kick rocks? No.
He's like,
Throw the rock.
"Kick rocks."
Well, because so it was. I can't remember her name off the top. But she said kick rocks, and I was like, oh, that's hilarious. So I'm like, I took a little piece of that, and I was like, all right, I'm not gonna
Go
say
throw a
I
rock.
bye. I'm not gonna say kick rocks. I'm gonna like, okay, throw the rock.
That's right. And I usually end it by letting everybody know there's never going to be a last time. So until the next time.
You make fun of me 20, 30 more times. I'm going to take my bowl and get out of here. Y'all be easy.
Yeah. It was fun, guys.
All right, Josh, we appreciate you. We'll see y'all the next week.
Yeah, we'll see you guys.
Bye.